Good morning. My name is Kariga Roush, and I serve kids and families in this community as the Indianapolis Director of Stand for Children. We are so fortunate to be here in this beautiful venue, and thank you so much to the Central Library and to Jackie Needis for allowing us to have an opportunity to talk about some exciting things happening for kids and families in our community. Stand for Children's mission is to ensure that every child graduates high school prepared for and with access to college. And we believe that it's critically important as one element of achieving that mission that parents have access to great information and coaching to choose a school that is the exact right fit for their child. Indianapolis is home to a number of different options, from schools in our 11 traditional public schools to our public charter school sector to our non-public schools. All provide important options for parents to choose from. And it's important that they have information and coaching to choose the best that meets their kids' needs. Stand for Children and our partners saw a clear need among all of these options to provide a resource and coaching guide, particularly for families as they are in those natural transition years, entering kindergarten for the first time, from 5th grade to 6th grade, and from 8th grade to 9th grade, when there are a number of different options that they need to select from. We are so thrilled to partner with GreatSchools on the first ever Indianapolis School Chooser. That has really helpful information developed from a parent's perspective on things that are most important for them as they are making their school choice decisions. We are very encouraged that this was a cross-sector effort and initiative where we had all three of the sectors, our traditional public schools, our public charter school sector, and our non-public school sector, that all came together in the production and creation of this guide, and which is a historic opportunity for us. We're also very thrilled today to unveil the Indianapolis School Chooser Coaching Program, which is a program designed to provide parents with tools to be able to access helpful information on the needs of their children and family, to help them in identifying a school that will meet those unique needs. And third, to encourage and equip parents to visit schools, to talk with other parents at those schools, to talk with principals, and to talk with teachers to understand what needs there are before they make that selection. And then after making that selection, encouraging them to stay for a year, because all of our evidence indicates that absent bullying or some kind of harassment, it's critically important that students stay in the school that they've selected for a year. We're working with a number of different organizations that have agreed to be distribution partners. You'll hear more about that from the central libraries and the library system with Jackie here in a little bit. We are also just thrilled to kick off this day and this unveiling of the School Chooser and the School Chooser Coaching Program by having Mayor Ballard with us, who is clearly a champion for students and understands just how important a quality education is, both from personal experience as the chief executive of our city. So I'm just so thrilled now to introduce Mayor Ballard.
Thanks, Craig, and I thank everybody else for coming out this morning. Also, thank you to Jackie and the Indianapolis Marion County Public Library for sharing the space with us today, and I know they're going to be a big part of this also. Most of you are here today because you've made a commitment to your children, and you understand what that means, a commitment to seek out a quality education for your children on your terms, an education that works for your children. It works for you, and it's an education that delivers real results, and more importantly, real opportunity. And as a community, as a city, we really need to take this a step further. We must make sure that all of our children and their families have access to an education that matters, a real choice. No one should lose out on opportunity just because of a zip code. Imagine that if we in this room insisted that all of the children in Marion County had the same educational opportunities that we insist upon for our own children. That is a lot of opportunity that would bubble up for the entire benefit of the community. We're one step closer to ensuring that all of our children and their families have access to the right school for them in the form of a comprehensive resource providing information about education options. The Indianapolis School Chooser, developed by Stand for Children, does a great job of summarizing academic results, as well as each school's biggest strength, in other words, what they are best known for. So it's important for parents to be armed with this type of information, and now they will be in an easy guide. So I'd like to thank our 11 Marion County school districts, the mayor's charter schools, the non-public schools throughout Marion County, as well as the State Department of Education for their help in compiling the Indianapolis School Chooser Guide. And I'd also like to recognize, obviously, Stand for Children for being such a huge part of this. GreatSchools, the Indiana Public Charter School Association, the Indiana Non-Public Education Association, School Choice Indiana, and the Indiana Partnership Center for their efforts in creating and producing this guide, because this is going to be a great tool for the parents in our city. So let me commend all of our Marion County schools for what they do every day to provide the best education possible for our children also, because anytime I walk in on a school, I will tell you, everybody's on task. Without exception, every time I've done that, unannounced, people have been on task. So we can't thank them enough for what they do on a daily basis. But that is why precisely the Indianapolis School Chooser is so important, and the accompanying School Chooser coaching program is so valuable also. So it is a guide to action, it is a guide to choice for the parents, and it really is an opportunity for everyone, for every family in this city. We make it easier for them, thanks to Kariga and Stand for Children and all these other folks and organizations who have come together to produce this guide. So the parents, the families, and the students can use this tool to find the school which fits their needs the best, which I think is extremely important. Zip code shouldn't matter. The best school option is what's really important for each and every kid in our city. So thanks, Kariga. Thanks for everybody for coming out. Jackie, thank you so much for doing what you're doing.
We are also thrilled to have as a training and distribution partner the Indianapolis Marion County Public Library, and to say a little bit about that and their commitment to kids and families in our community is Jackie Needus, who is Executive Director of the Library System. Jackie?
Thank you, Kariga. I've enjoyed the opportunity to work with you now in 3 different roles, so this is so encouraging that you've stayed committed and invested here in our city, and we all appreciate that. Mayor, thank you so much for your leadership on education. It's very critical for our city that the message be clear from the top that education really matters. Before I returned to the library, I spent 4 years working in a grassroots neighborhood organization trying to bring families back to our city. And one of the messages we heard regularly was, you know, there's great houses here, but what about the schools? I don't know where my kids should go to school. And so we were struggling in that little neighborhood to try to get the word out to people that there were wonderful school choices. All across our city, there were wonderful school choices to be accessed from our neighborhood. And in that little neighborhood, the Mapleton-Fall Creek neighborhood, we produced our own little one-page version of a school chooser. So when I learned about this project, I was so excited because I really understood from the grassroots how valuable this particular tool should be. And the public library is extremely excited about partnering in the distribution of this great information. One of the things the library does is make information available to people, facilitate people's access to the information that'll help them make good choices. That's why we collect the materials we collect. We've got a small exhibit here of materials on the subject of education. That's why we do the work we do across the county to help people inform themselves on the issues that they're facing. Our role in this going forward is that we will be a distribution point for the free guides for families all across Marion County. That means there's 24 different locations, public library locations, where as of next week, people will be able to pick up their own copy. In addition to that, our staff will do the kinds of coaching and guiding that we do all the time, helping people to work their way through all the great information that's out there. So our staff will be trained on how the material was selected for the guide, how you can sort through it, and where you can go from there to get additional information. The final aspect of this that's very exciting for us is that this guide and the use of it is very consistent with a larger role that the public library wants to take in a conversation about education. Over the course of this year, starting just I think in about next week or March 26th, okay, first one. We will have a series of sessions held here at Central Library, bringing together all kinds of stakeholders, all kinds of interested parties to explore their views and their perspectives on what we need to be doing about education here in Indianapolis. I urge all of you who care about education in our city to visit us at any of these sessions, to join in the conversation, and to continue the process of getting the information that we all need to make great educational choices for our city. This tool is a great start, and we've got a lot of exciting work ahead of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jackie. So at this time, we'll conclude the press conference. Participants and as well as our partners will be available for one-on-one interviews and questions individually. So thank you for coming. Indianapolis is at its best when we come together to do big things, super things, as a matter of fact, and that's what this guide represents. It represents all different schooling sectors, from our traditional public schools, our public charter schools, and our non-public schools coming together to provide this information resource, and then working with our community organizations like the Indianapolis Library System to be a place that parents already access, and this hopefully can enhance what they're doing to really make sure parents are thinking and coaching their way through what the absolute best choice for their unique needs of their child would be. This is a historic day, for Indianapolis, that we now have a comprehensive information resource that includes all schools in Marion County, and the level of information in there developed by parents, the things that they said are really important for them to know as they're making these kind of educational decisions.